And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And the title of the video is My Strategy Has Changed. But please remember, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and none of the information provided in this video should ever be taken as a signal to buy or sell. But first and foremost, we look at Arkham Intelligence. And as we can see, the price of Quant at $102, currently up 1.11% in the last 24 hours, but still down 12% in the last 30 days. Again, doesn't really bother me. I'm here for the long term. We look at crypto quant, and as we can see, the exchange reserves have dropped a little since yesterday at 1.409 million on reserves. And currently, we are looking at net flow. Net deposits on exchanges are low compared to the last 7-day average. So lower deposits can be interpreted as a lower selling pressure. And as we can see down here, stochastic is still looking oversold and RSI is looking around neutral. But we get onto the task in hand, and the information today is about my strategy. Now, I've had since yesterday's video, people have been saying, well, you changed your strategy. I think it's important that we keep looking at our portfolios and decide from there. Now, you might say, well, you need to stick to it and all the rest of it. Well, I believe in, as things evolve, we keep looking at our strategies and keep evolving them, because that's quite important. But before we do that, we look at a tweet from Tokenizer. I think this is quite important. 99% of retail doesn't even know what's under the hood. When mainstream thinks blockchain, they immediately think to crypto, NFTs, and scams. If only they saw what was truly developing, what was truly bringing value through the underlying tech. Beyond the hype is a future created by leveraging the Internet of Value with our existing infrastructure. From our modern financial system, supply chain, and energy grid, all of this is currently being disrupted by blockchain technology at the highest level as we speak. Mainstream retail thinks that this space brings nothing more than internet coins and expensive JPEGs. Soon enough, they'll be utilizing DLT without even realizing it. The purpose of DLT isn't to overhaul our modern tech, rather it seamlessly builds upon and transitions into the new age of tech. It's always been this way. Crypto, NFTs, DeFi, these are some of the fragments of DLT. The global elites, regulators, and governments have all spoken and begun developing the answers right in front of your eyes. The future of DLT will be driven by regulated utility. Now, if we look at this infographic by Tokenizer, what is blockchain? And as you can see here, you've got all the cryptos there, Doge, Shiba, and Bitcoin. Then you've got your NFTs sitting in there too, the non-fungible tokens. But the future of finance, we see here, Stellar, XRP, you've got NXRA, you've got Quant, you've got Nucleus Finance, you've got SHX in there, which is really, really one that I see that's under the radar. And then we've got all the scams that took place, Luna, FTX, and so on. You've got the provenance on chain. You've got all these ones sitting in here, and you've got the global standards, the Bank of International Settlements. You've got ISO 222, and a really important one, ISO TC 307, which is the standardization, which will be pivotal to bring in that legacy money. Then we've got business in blockchain. The big one here, IBM. You've got HBAR, you've got Quant again, you've got Casper, you've got Algorand. You've got all these big names, and then we get new tech utility. We've got IOTA in here. We've got a few others. You've got all these big names just sitting in here. That is what we're looking at, people. So what people know about is these ones here. What people don't know about is this bunch of mauve color here, which is so imperative. But people don't see that. Now we go back to this, blockchain in 2024, the year of institutional adoption by Gilbert Verdian, and I think this is very, very important. Now, I hear people say, "Well, it's all been said before, institutional adoption over the years," but I actually think we are nearing this. All the keys are there, all the crumbs are beginning to show. People are starting to build that cake. So it says here, Gilbert Verdian, our founder and CEO, identifies and interprets the most significant blockchain trends for 2024 and explores the profound impact they will have across financial service sectors. Last year, it was more important than ever to distinguish crypto from the technology that powers it. Although 2023 was tumultuous for cryptocurrencies, with the heads of several high-profile exchanges facing criminal proceedings, as we've just seen, Luna and a few other things that have gone on last year, bringing blockchain and crypto down to its knees. So we've got blockchain technology continues its path towards broader use with more successful central bank digital currency experiments and the launch of prominent commercial bank digital coins. Our prediction for 2024 is that it will be the year of widespread institutional adoption of this transformative technology. And he says here, CBDC adoption isn't slowing down. The momentum behind CBDC adoption remains strong in 2023, with several of the world's largest central banks and monetary authorities seeking advice on how to successfully implement CBDCs. In fact, according to the Bank of International Settlements, it is expected that there could be as many as 15 retail and 9 wholesale CBDCs in circulation by 2030. Research also found that 130 countries are now in the explorative phase of CBDCs, and all G20 countries, with the exception of Argentina, are now in the advanced phases. The uptake of CBDCs represent the paradigm shift in the way financial institutions and governments perceive digital currencies, and we can expect to see further implementation throughout 2024. And it says here, success depends on security and compliance. And that's why I bet on Quant, the Quant network, because they are creating the standards with their ISO TC307. And why is that so important? Because they are the committee that drives it. And that's why my strategy has changed slightly, but looking at my portfolio as a whole. And I don't just look at each coin in that sense. Now, I probably do with Quant because I believe there's still a lot of things that need to happen before we see absolute rush on this coin. I love the tokenomics. As you know, the tokenomics for me sell themselves. So why have I changed my tact? As we evolved, things changed. Now, I was previously going to take out a small amount. I may not do that now because I have a diverse portfolio. Now let's take a look back of what I was going to do. I say that I've given 4 options here. So I'm working with these options because we're evolving. And this was my DCA selling strategies for, say, 100 quant realistic, total cost $10,000. And as you can see here, I've got A, B, C, and D. So let's look at A to start off with. If we look at A, this was an original strategy that I was looking at. If when Quant hits $700, I'll take out a small amount, which is basically my initial, so 14. Then we've got the rest of it, I call house money. So the rest of it, you take 20, 20, 20, 30, and then 30, and then I would have sold at $110, leaving 21 Quant there. Now, I'm not going to do that anymore. We've got B, so 1,500 per quant. Take my initial out, and then the rest of it, 20% at $4,000 per quant. There you go. So again, total $87,000 with 28 sold, 72 left, ready for whatever comes in the future. Then we had C, and if we look at C here, $2,000 per quant, take out 10, there's your $20,000, leave 90 for future if staking ever becomes available. And then we get to D. Now, I've talked about this pretty much yesterday with regards to certain what other people are doing. Now, the reason why I'm going to do at the moment, this could change. This is all dependent on what price we get in the bull run. Now, I say this because everything is evolving. Now, if I see a price that looks good, that will change my present time in that time, then I may change this. Again, we are creatures of habit and things can change. We don't know what that will be. But at the moment, I'm not selling any. And the reason being is because I have a diverse portfolio. What I mean by that is I have other coins that I will offload. So whatever I have as my quant holding, I will hold until I see a number that suits me. But at the moment, I don't see that number. And if I don't see that number, at the next bull run, I will hold my quant. I will not sell a dime. The reason being is because of my portfolio. So I don't normally do this, but here we go. This is my portfolio. So at the moment, I hold 36% of my portfolio in quant. Then I've got 20% of NXRA, 14% of SHX, 12% XLM, 6.7% Casper, 6.7% of HBAR, and my Epic Prime at 3%, my gaming coin here. Obviously, as the risk goes up, my percentage drops in the coins that I hold. But this big chunk here of quant, I'm going to hold until I see the number I want. And if that means holding until not the next bull run, the bull run after, I will hold. Because why? I have this here. I have nearly 65% of a play within this chunk here. Now, whatever you think of these coins, is down to me. I like what I hold. NXRA for starters, I've been a big proponent of them. SHX, I believe, will hit huge numbers at some point. Again, XLM, Casper, HBAR, I also believe will bring in some numbers. Outside chance of Epic. I do have some other dust in other coins, which I didn't put on here because I don't think they're poignant. Again, I will offload all of those. Maybe I'll leave percentages of these here. So might leave a small amount of 10% of my 21% of NXRA, the same with SHX. But I will play this by ear. If I see numbers, I will offload. But at the moment, at the present time, the way I see Quant and its technology and where it could be in the future, I'm not touching this because I believe in Quant. As you know, this is what I talk about. I love Quant. But I'm not married to the bag at all. I just feel that it has huge potential, more potential than most of the other coins because it's setting the standards. It's providing a layer of security to bring in the legacy. Now, we know that legacy are not going to join, not going to join the party if there isn't standards. Now, I believe Quant provides this layer of security, of standardization that will allow legacy to come in. And that's why I've changed my tact. I've changed my way of thinking. Now, this may change. I may add to this. I may add more to these others that I've got here. I will probably add to Quant over time, keep chipping in, keep adding to this, I believe, a retirement fund here. Everything else is fun time in my eyes. Like I said, I probably will save some NXRA. I think, again, they're creating standards with regards to tokenization, which I believe will do very well in the future. But again, this is all my personal opinion. You've got to do you. So if we go back, whatever you do, it's up to you. You may do something completely different to this. But I've slowly changed my mindset based on the information that I see. The information that I put out maybe 4 or 5 months ago is different from what I see today. Now, this is where I'm at. It may change, but I have a plan. I've created charts. I've done everything I need to do to keep an eye on what's going on. And that's what it's all about. We are evolving. I believe we change with the times if things change. People say to me, well, holding it to 2030 is a huge risk. Of course it is, but I'm taking some of that risk out with my other plays. That's the way I see it. That's what I'm doing. I'm using my whole portfolio to determine on how I play into the next bull run. So there you go, guys. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and share this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. So also, please comment what you're doing because I think it's important. I like to hear other people's opinion. So there you go, guys. All the best, and I'll catch you later.